Still trying to understand your body weight. Top 7 weight loss effects. What are the benefits of losing weight? Weight loss can delay the period in women. It is also proven that weight loss can reduce breast size. However, not only do women benefit immensely from weight loss. Moreover, you only need to lose 5% to 10% of your body weight to see signs of these benefits. To understand your body weight better, we shall discuss the top 7 weight loss effects. 7. Improved heart health. Weight loss can affect your period, as we mentioned, but there are more pertinent reasons to improve your body weight. One of these involves improved heart health. You can prevent heart diseases when you adjust your lifestyle, including weight loss. When you lose weight, your arteries have less pressure on them. With lessened pressure comes less work for the heart to pump blood through the rest of your body. As you improve this heart function, you also benefit from lower blood pressure, which can help your heart's lifespan. Reduce low-density lipoprotein. The bad cholesterol levels you do not want in your body will also be minimum. One study found that even people who lost weight through surgery benefit from this heart health. The only difference is that losing weight naturally improves your heart health by a larger percentage than going through metabolic surgery. In the end, you have to make a conscious effort to lose weight if you want to reduce all risks of heart-related diseases. 6. Improved mobility and social life. Although many people will refuse to say anything, being the fit one in a social setting brings some positive attention to you. People are more inclined to offer help and support to those they find conventionally attractive, which can sometimes exclude overweight people. Your self-esteem will be higher, and you will have an improved sense of belonging whenever you are out. It can get uncomfortable when people make the conversation around your weight. When you lose weight, you take off some pressure from your knees and joints. That amounts to improved mobility. Studies support the claim that if obese persons lose 1% body weight, their mobility limitations, including climbing the stairs and walking difficulty, are reduced by 7%. Everyone wants to do these things without challenges, and it can be possible if you lose some body weight. 5. Better sleep. Excess fat, which comes from increased fat deposits, could block an obese person's neck area and prevent proper breathing. When there is a disruptive breathing disorder while you sleep, it is medically termed sleep apnea. When you suffer from sleep apnea, where you have trouble breathing in your sleep, you can have many cure angles, including weight loss. Although weight loss cannot ultimately cure apnea, it can improve sleep conditions and quicken your disorder treatment. The severity of apnea increases tremendously when you are overweight. Even when overweight people do not suffer from apnea, they might struggle to sleep due to their partly blocked respiratory function by fat deposits. The antidote to a poor sleep pattern is to maintain a healthy weight. The National Sleep Foundation puts weight loss as one of its key strategies for better sleep. 4. Boosts energy. When you lose weight, your sleep pattern is improved, and your energy is boosted. Sleep-deprived people are the most unmotivated people throughout the day, so a good night's rest equals an energetic day outside. While you think about it from the angle of sleep, it helps to consider your body's work to be your weight. An overweight body means that your body will spend more time working harder to do the bare minimum. Sometimes moving becomes hard, and it requires more effort. When you shed off some weight, you move freely and bounce around with the energy of a child. Breathing is also tied to energy, and sometimes overweight people struggle to breathe. When you lose weight, your respiratory function is improved, and you feel more energetic and vibrant in your daily tasks. Energy is the drive, especially when you have a family or career to run. It does not help if you are always out of breath and low on energy. 3. Reduced risk of cancer. The American Cancer Society pins 15% of cancers on excess body weight. Women experience 11% of cancers due to body weight, and 5% of men have the same risk. Obesity is one of the leading contributors to cancers like endometrial cancer, breast cancer in women past menopause, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, and kidney cancer. The link between cancer and body weight is inflammation due to visceral fat, the fat surrounding the vital organs. When you lose weight, your body is better adjusted to handle inflammation and other interfering fats, burning through activity and proper dieting. Therefore, if you want to reduce the risk of these cancers or reverse cancer, then you have to be ready to lose body weight. Another school of thought says that dieting, especially keto and Mediterranean diets, is an excellent way to stunt the growth of cancerous cells. 2. Decreased risk of stroke. Weight loss can lower blood pressure, which is the hallmark of a reduced risk of stroke. When you have excess weight, your blood pressure increases, leaving you at a high risk of stroke. When your blood pressure is high, it puts a strain on blood vessels, which then causes blood clots due to its stiffness. Your heart works better when you lose weight because the blood vessels are less constricted. And when your heart is working perfectly, there are no risks of parts of your brain function or other organs stiffening up and causing a stroke or related complications. Having a stroke while overweight could be an experience not many people want. Apart from family and friends struggling to take care of you, the slower reversal rate. You will heal slower being overweight than a person within a healthy weight category. 1. Regulate blood sugar and diabetes. When you lose weight, your insulin sensitivity also reduces. When your insulin sensitivity is reduced, your risk of being beaten down by type 2 diabetes is lower. Weight loss can cure diabetes by reducing adipose tissue. Increased adipose tissue interferes with hormones that regulate blood sugar levels. Without inflammation from adipose tissue, your blood sugar is better managed and improved. Your cells can also receive the blood sugar instead of the bloodstream once the function of insulin is properly managed. Even if you reduce 5% of your body weight after being diagnosed with diabetes, you are better placed to fight off the disease. Weight loss can reverse diabetes. Knowing that these are benefits of weight loss could be helpful for motivation. It is evident that losing weight is challenging, and people fall back all the time. Other benefits that did not make the top 7 include improved self-esteem, sex drive, and decreased joint pains. It is also essential to note that weight loss that achieves this goal must be attained naturally. Using diet and exercise is a proven combo to achieve results. However, you have to always consult your doctor on the various weight management plans you choose.